Hi everyone, it's Debbie with Book and Bujo. Welcome if you're new, welcome back if you've been here before. Today let's go over my 25 books in 2025 and see what I've read and if I'm actually going to finish my list. To start out with, my number one spot on 25 in 2025 was Wind and Truth by Brandon Sanderson, and I am happy to say I did read this one. I actually really enjoyed it. I believe I gave it four stars. It's not as good as some of the others in the series, but I did enjoy it and I'm interested to see where it's going for book number 6. Book number 2 on my list is The Book That Wouldn't Burn by Mark Lawrence, and it's the first book in the library series, and I have not read that. I am 1 and 1. Book number 3 on my list is The Solstice Court by Jade Juniper, and I did read that. Loved it. 4.5 stars. Book number 4 is Return to Edan by Philip Chase, and this was the third and final book in the Dan trilogy, and I did read that and I loved it. It was a great ending to the trilogy. 4.5 stars. 3 out of 4 so far. Not too bad. Book number 5 is An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir, and it's the first book in the series, and I have not read this one either. Book number 6 is Spark of the Everflame, and it's the first book in the Kindred Curse series by Penn Cole, and I have not read this either. 3 out of 6 so far. Not good. Number 7, The Harp of Imic Thistle, and this is the third book in the Lyra novels by Patricia C. Weirdy. And I did read that, and I enjoyed it. I still like the first book best so far in the series, but I did like this one as well. 4 stars. Book number 8, This Savage Song by V.E. Schwab. That's the first book in the Monsters of Verity series, and I did read that, and I enjoyed it. Not my favorite of V.E. Schwab's, but I did enjoy it, and I gave that one 4 stars. Book number 9 was A Twist of the Blade by S.M. Gaither, and that's the second book in the Shadows and Crowns series, and I did read that, and I very much enjoyed that one as well. 4 stars. Book number 9, A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, and this is the second book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series, and I did give this one 4 stars. I liked it much better than the first book. Book number 12 was Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo, and this is the second book in the Alex Stern series, and I loved this one. 4.5 stars. Very good. I like the whole series so far. Book number 12 is The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett, and I have not read this one yet. And this is the first book in the Shadows of Leviathan series, and then that brings me to 8 books read out of 12 so far. Book number 13 is Demon's Reign by Ben Galley and David Estes, and I have not read this one yet either. Book number 14, Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinneman, the first book in the series, and I have not read this one yet either. But it is on my December TBR for Merry Bookmas, so hopefully. Book number 15 is A Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young, and I have not read that either. Book number 16 on the list is The Echo of Old Books by Barbara Davis, and I have not read that either. So we're still at 50%, 8 out of 16. Book number 17 is The Eyes Are the Best Part by Monica Kim, and I did read that. So good. I think I gave it a 4.5, but I'm still kind of hovering. Is it a 4.5? Is it a 5? Sitting with it a little bit more. I mean, it's definitely an interesting book and not for everybody, but I enjoyed it. Book number 18 on the list is Gods of the Weird Wood by R.J. Barker, and that's the first book in the Forsaken series, and I have not read that either. So 9 out of 18. Still 50%. Book number 19 is The Empire of Silence by Christopher Rocchio, the first book in the Sun Eater series, and I did read that. Very much enjoyed it. 4 stars. Book number 20 is Spellmaker by Charlie Holmberg, and I did not read that either. And it's the second book in the Spellbreaker series. So yeah, 10 out of 20. Still hovering at that 50%. Book number 21 is A Shade of Madness by Tiaga Abdallah, and this is the second book in the Ashes of Avron series, and I did read that one. Book number 22 is The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah, and this is the first book in the Sand Sea series, and I have not read this either, but it is on my November TBR, so I should have this one finished by the end of the month. Book number 23 is Wool, and that's by Hugh Howey, and the one I have is part 1, so it's just the first 56 pages of the first book. But I did read this. This is the copy I had, and I did finish it. And it has me intrigued, and I do want to continue with the series and read the actual book 1. But for now, I did finish this one, which was on my 25 and 2025. Book number 24 was A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik, and this is the first book in the Scholomance series, and I did read this, and I did like it. Yay. And I will continue with the series at some point. And this one, I believe I gave 4 stars. And then lastly, book 25 out of 25 is The Shadow of What Was Lost by James Islington. And that is the first book in the Lycanus trilogy, and I did not read this either. So I read 13 of my 25 books. But one of them is on my November TBR, 2 are on my December TBR, so I should at least get through 3 of the books, but I don't think I'm going to get to the other 9 of those 12 books that I have not read yet. I did fail my 25 and 2025, but that's okay. Like they didn't all have to be read. These are just kind of the books that I did want to prioritize, but sometimes your priorities change as the year goes by, right? And I will probably carry at least some of these over into 2026. And for TBRopoly, I always have them in there. I leave whatever is left in the cards and then add the other cards to them. So we'll see how many I carry over into my 26 and 2026. And if I get those read. My thoughts for 26 and 2026, still kind of deciding how I want to go with that. So I had talked about maybe doing 13 in 2026 instead, since I failed so miserably in 2025. But then I also thought, well, maybe I do 13 of my physical books that I have here on my shelves and 13 of the books that I have on my Kindle and make that 26. And that helps me to read down my owned TBR. I don't know, that's a thought. Or 13 Kindle books and then maybe 7 audiobooks that I own and 6 physical books that I own, or something like that. I'm kind of toying with that idea as well. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. I also want to know, did you read any of the books that were on my list? And if so, what did you think about them? Did you like them? Did you not? Love to know what you think. Another challenge that I am planning on doing in 2026, this is mainly just with my family, my sister and my mom and I. My sister is moving and she's packing up her books again, and she's kind of tired of packing up and moving all of these books that she hasn't read yet. So she has challenged us all to read down our physical TBRs. And since I've been getting the quarter books from the library, my physical TBR has grown quite a bit from what I originally had, which was, less than 50 books unread that were on my shelves. Now I have 104, I think it was. Now that is counting where I have some books like this one where there's multiple books in one. I did count each individual one that was in the bind up, not just this is one book. I counted this as like 6 books. So I have a lot now and I need to get those read. Plus I have some of my broken binding books that I have not read yet as well. So I need to get to those. And we're actually starting this challenge in November. My physical book that I'm going to be reading for November to get it off my unread TBR is To Green Angel Tower, Part 2 by Tad Williams. So this is the last book in the series, and I do want to finish that one out because it's the last one in the series. And we'll see what I end up choosing for the rest of the months. What I'll probably do is put them all on a spinner wheel, and then when I do my TBRopoly, I will spin that wheel and add that book to my TBR. If I can get it onto my TBR happily, then great. If not, then it'll just be an extra book to read. My sister and I may also end up doing 2 a month. We'll see how much time we have. And then I also wanted to quickly go over my 12 classics and 12 nonfiction lists that I had. I'm just going to tell you the ones I read because it's a lot shorter. Nonfiction, I had 12. I actually had 13 books on the list to have a little bonus on there, and I read 2 of them. Yeah, I read a lot of nonfiction in 2025, just not any of the ones I put on my list. I did read Real Self-Care by Pooja Lakshmi, and I did enjoy that one. It was kind of a hit and miss depending on the chapter. So I thought it was well written, and I think that people can get a lot out of that book. Just personally, there were some chapters I was like, I already do this, I already know this, or other ones I was like, this doesn't really apply to me at all. And others I was like, oh, I love this chapter, this one's great, and I got a lot out of it. So it was kind of hit and miss depending on the chapter for me, but I think overall it is a really good book. And the other nonfiction I did read was Stillness is the Key by Ryan Holiday, and I always enjoy his books. I get a lot out of them, and I always think they have some great information that can be applied to your life. Now for the classics. I did actually read 4 of the classics I had on my list out of 13. Bonus ones that I didn't think I'd get to, but just in case, So yeah. And those ones were Sandition by Jane Austen, which I did thoroughly enjoy. Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. I also thought that one was a fascinating book. The Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer, which I thought was okay. Not a favorite. Not sad I read it. Average. We'll just say it wasn't for me. I think my sister loves that one. But for me, not quite my cup of tea. And then the last one I read was 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, and I did enjoy that one. It wasn't a new favorite, but I did enjoy it, and I'm glad I read it. There is one other book that is on this TBR that is on my November TBR, and I do plan on reading it, and that is Finnegan's Wake by James Joyce. So I will have, by the end of the year, 5 of my classics read out of 12. Yeah. We'll see how many of these I carry over. There are quite a few that I do want to read, like Don Quixote and Moby Dick. A couple of the other books that I do want to get to that are classics that I will probably roll over into 2026 are Far from the Madding Crowd by Thomas Hardy, as well as, I guess you can't really see that there, Camille by Alexandre Dumas, and Awakening by Kate Chopin. And this is one of my sister's favorites, so definitely will be carrying this one over. And then that's it. Are there any books, whether they're classics, nonfictions, or just regular 26 and 2026 type of books that you think I should read? Let me know down in the comments, and I will think about adding those to my TBR. Thank you so much for always being a part of the Book and Bujo family, and I am so excited to see what 2026 is going to bring, not only for my channel, but also for all of you. And if you made it this far in the video, leave any type of a book emoji in the comments down below to let me know that you were here. And until next time, keep reading. Bye!